Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Mr. Cranky Pants playing Russian Fishing 4. We're at October, and I'm just getting ready to probably go to Copper for the first time. Just turned 29 offline. We're fishing at 141.97 on October, which is here. We're using mussels, catching buffalo. Got ourselves a black buffalo. Nothing other than that. That's super fantastic. Although we got some nice fish in there. And I'll be going and buying myself one more Narga 6K reel. So I'll have 3 bottom rods for Copper. Sounds good. Let's see what we have on here.
I just made it to turquoise.
Nothing fancy. Looks like just another buffalo. I'll take it though.
Oh,
they're going crazy.
Find the code. Great usage of time.
Nice one, nice one, nice one. I'll say it again.
Final one. Able to destroy.
$49 hundo. Should be enough to go buy myself a nice Narga. Then I'll have 3 bottom rods for copper. That'll be good. Might as well milk this spot. Happy hour starts in 5:59. 40 minutes. I'd love to catch a big boy fish. Come here.
Yeah, I'm rubbing against you.
Yeah, yeah. I made it. I'm in the big time now. The thing took off fast.
Really?
Buffaloes are good. I've been here for about 2 in-game days. Got a black buffalo. Fishing on the corner down here. Yeah, I'll just stay here until it runs dry, probably. Might as well. Oh, okay. No hurry then whatsoever. Look at the forecast.
Keep it.
Oh, it's gonna be fucked for hours. How many hours is that? One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. We get there when we get there.
Forward, 2 left, 1 forward. Probably right.
We go where the fish go. Going off. I like it. That's what you want to see.
Come on, Michael. Ooh. The code, it's a drill head scrub through. Must be hard. Really is. And it's all the same number. It's 2626, I'm guessing. I would say more, but it's close.
Hey, Mystic, how's it going? Farming the buffalo.
Hero seems to be a little off.
He's just talking to Thrash out. Copper's down for like 6 hours at least, so I'm in no rush to go anywhere. I'd like to get some more black buffaloes. That would be fantastic. Or something big. But anyway, I'll just keep farting around.
Another bowl.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Q&A. There was no new info. Nothing. I wonder if it's on YouTube. Did you watch a recorded version of it?
Go in your spot. You're interacting with my ball, Michael.
It doesn't matter. They don't want you moving. Well, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's the same people that are looking at those emails as, and I think there's good reasons why they don't let people transfer out of certain regions. But let's not dwell on that today.
That sounds really nice. Hey, welcome to the stream, Doom Gamer. How's it going? Buffaloes. I may have been here too long. Starting to slow down a little bit, but not a bad run. I've been here for like, I don't know, probably 2 days. 2 game days. So I don't know if that probably kills the bite rate, I'm guessing. Oh, I'm still getting them. Just watching the Q&A. I muted it because it gets too crazy with audio from another thing going at the same time. Still looking for that big boy fish here. Yeah, the copper spot's kind of dead. Increased temperatures for the next 6 hours or so. I was gonna go there for my first time, but now I'm not. Definitely not going there anytime soon. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do because happy hour starts in 20 minutes and I'm not sure I want to kick it off. I still have to take my son home and I'll be gone for like a few hours, so I may jump off and save it because I like to 100% focus on it.
Behind, I knew it. Can't.
What does go FK mean? I mean, like, I know it means away from keyboard. For what purpose? Oh, it won't start if I stay in? As long as I don't do anything? My happy hour will start even if I'm not logged in?
One. 10+7.
Hang on, let me look. It is available at 5:59 p.m.
Two.
Gotcha. I am using... Oops.
Code is 27.
Whole Pale Muscle Flavor Green 1.5 and mussels for dip. Pop-up rig. Just corn.
September 8. 8/2. May is 5. 8/2/5. September is 7. January, February, March, April, May, June. It's 9. Makes you smell good.
Hey, what's up, Cairo, man? How's it going? I did toss. I tossed a bunch of bait in there. I threw this mussels bait
Hit 4 and 5.
that Mystic made me. Mystic's magical mussels. And it has been very good, as you can see. I also threw a couple grass carp balls in there, but I don't think they made much of a difference. I haven't seen very many. Yeah, I'm surprised the bite rate is still this good.
7, 2.
It's going quite well. I just turned 29, and that means copper is open to me, although it's dead right now, but I'll be there later, as soon as things cool down.
That's what I did the first time.
I'll go buy me a second Narga, and I'll have 3 6K reels, and I'll be ready to go.
No, I think getting some from.
Okay. So, as far as happy hour, if I stay logged in and I keep fishing, will it kick in as soon as I cast after 5:59 or whatever? Or does it wait for me to do a log out? It waits for me to do a log out? Frankie Fingers, thanks for the follow, buddy. Much appreciated. Welcome. My son's playing next to me, so I keep muting my mic. So if you see my mouth moving, just say something. And there's no sound, that is. Yeah, this has been a juicy little spot, I'm telling you. I saw it on Russian Fishing RF4 trophies from 10 hours ago. And it's been a good little spot. Although I'd like to see another black buffalo or something special. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Going crazy. I hit the wrong rod. Amateur.
Okay. $1.2.
Oh, that's a big chunky something. What is that, a grass carp? No. It's just a big fat buffalo. Let's fix this third road. Kind of
There's no rule. to
moved it
follow.
unnecessarily. Oh, it's still running. Oh, we got a big boy fish.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know.
Gonna take my time with this one.
Talk to your robot.
Not a big boy fish. But as buffalo go, it's a decent one. I'm watching the VOD for the question and answer on the other screen, so.
were given, and it's something to complete. So I see people from like early players, low-level players, all the way up to high-level players doing these and having fun with them.
That's really cool. I mean, the prizes are designed specifically in that way because we don't want to force you into participating in this, right? Or feeling like, oh shit, I'm missing out if I don't do this. So while the prizes at the end they can be a bit rather juicy and really cool.
Yep.
It's not. We don't want to force you into a specific game style, right? But if you do enjoy this, and I agree, the coolest thing is probably seeing people solving these tasks together, right? Finding solutions together, and then everyone gets there. That's pretty cool to watch.
But again, this is a choice, right? If someone wants to skip them and just do their own thing, they're free to go. Do
That
what
was
they
3
want,
people.
but also for players
Skip
who
the
want to achieve
tasks.
something, get
Yeah,
some
right.
kind of achievement.
That's ridiculous.
Or maybe the special designed items that are coming every year, but they are different, and they like to collect them. There is something to do as well. Of course, we loving the feedback that you guys are happy with it, and a lot of players are coming back for the challenges into the game. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think overall the overall feedback that I'm getting on the challenges is positive. Of course, there are some people that feels that they are too challenging. They take a lot of time, and some people, of course, like you said, it should be something that people feel that they can do if they want and not being forced.
It's too challenging.
Completion is
Come on.
and some people always feel that, oh, there's something new, I need to complete them. And I think I fall under that category to some extent, but it's in a fun way. It's like it's not something that, given that we have 60 days on it, I don't feel that it's something that I need to sit down and spend too much time on. But of course, we've had folks that, like I think it was last summer when we had the 7-year anniversary, people were struggling with the Atlantic salmon. And we had some people that got really frustrated with it at the end. But
Yeah.
of course,
We
when you
saw
start
that as
seeing
well.
when you start seeing that the timer goes down towards 0 days, of course. But it's
Yeah.
a bit of the challenge as
But
well.
it's a bit of challenge, yes. Yeah, that's why when we're designing these challenges, this task.
Get in the chopper. Sorry, it had to be done. It had to be said.
We try to find this fine balance between a challenge, but also between like boring task or something. It's cool when you sometimes need to, like troll for 1 hour or something to get this Atlantic salmon, And I think for some players might be different with these different challenges. Myself, for example, the last 2 Atlantic salmon took me hours to achieve, but this time I was lucky, and after I think 10 or 15 minutes, I got the Atlantic salmon. So it's also happiness as well, because I was thinking, okay, it's gonna be hard.
The Atlantic was easy.
So yeah,
Yep.
different for everyone, right?
It is, and like I have on the ones that we have running right now, I'm struggling with the pike.
The pike was a pain in my ass.
I can't find a pike of 10 kilos. 9.5, no
Okay.
problem. I've had a couple, but 10 kilos, no chance. So,
Okay, but you will get it. You
yeah,
will
we
get
got 45
it.
days still, so it's like it's
Yeah.
we have plenty of time.
Spectre says stop the night task. Well, we need to provide something for night fishing as well, right? Otherwise, we have
Finally.
always this half-hour downtime for people. Where
Oh, the night fishing ones were
completely different. So we're trying to balance it
psycho.
and put the night challenges in as well.
But we also, guys, are taking your feedback from every series of these challenges on board, and we're trying to change them. Maybe just achieve something for everyone, really. As I.
Sorry. It's a little messy. Dakota's summer. Oh my god, we just have to push blocks. Oh, there it is. 3944.
Happy hour available at next login. Okay.
Explain. We need some harder tasks. We also got some more open tasks as requested by you guys. So hopefully with time we can even improve more and more. So feedback, as always, appreciated. And
Yeah, the nighttime ones are hard because that window opens and closes very quickly. It's a short window. You gotta. I finally figured out towards the end, you really gotta like buckle down and be ready and plan. Like, not so much in the beginning when there's a wide variety of things to catch, but as you narrow it down, you run out of species to catch, and
But the ratio isn't the same.
that last fish I literally got with like 1 second to spare at night, you know, on that last night. I hooked the fish with 1 second left.
You have to reset if you mess up, bro.
Ladoga whitefish. It was.
No, I messed up. Oh. What? Oh, wait, what can I talk?
Oh, so if my happy hour accidentally kicks in and I log out, it does stop happy hour? It like saves it until I come back?
Look at me. Well, you can always repaint it. You can always repaint it.
He said to the AFK guy.
and it's great that you're spending time providing it. And also what I find out from myself, I hope you guys, players, will agree that when you high level, you're not visiting very often these low level maps. And these challenges give you this opportunity to come back a bit in the memory line, right? That, you know, fishing for Oldburg, for example, for me, I wasn't there for months. And hey, I need to go, and I remember these good memories, you know, when I was fighting like carps with very, very low level gear, and took me hours to land them and running around the lake. So I think it's fun, opportunity for everyone, but of course for players who want to do it.
Yeah, I think on the challenges this time, I really like that there's some more challenging ones, because we saw, especially with the I think it was the New Year ones, a lot of folks were done within 4 to 5 days. A lot of people were already completed with them. So I think having some of those that are stretched out a little bit, it keeps it alive a little bit longer. And I definitely see that in chat, and I also see that in Discord. There's still people going hard on these things and trying to complete them.
We are reading the chat, by the way. It's just that, you know, I don't want to. I'm not sure if Cypher has specific questions planned, so I don't want to jump ahead too far.
Feel free to
but
jump
we are
into
reading.
them. We got a good list of questions submitted already. So we have a little bit from all the different flavors, I should say. But yeah, feel free to jump on those in chat as well. But we could go through some of those in chat, and I know one of those are from the emails, and one of those that are really coming back over and over again is, of course, you guys dropped a map or a picture a couple of weeks ago, and first thing I noticed is when I saved the picture, it says American Pop. but
Yes.
that's pretty
Yeah.
much what we have. And I've seen there's been some rumors circulating and stuff like that. But one of the things that a lot of folks have asked for is, of course, when.
Yeah. Well, first of all, we spoiled ourselves a bit again with this header. Our hope was that you would guess the water body from the fish species. We took that guessing work out a bit. Yeah, but you guys are obviously on the right track. And since we have already posted the first teaser picture, usually that means that we are not that far from release.
Interesting.
So of course we're not gonna give you the date, guys, but as Joe said, it's close. So keep watching.
Want and how they want.
Well, I don't want to give away too much yet.
Of course not.
We did talk a bit already about the fact that this will be a starter level water body, right? Because we want the entry for players. Maybe there's more interest in US players in this, for example. And if they enter the game fresh, we want them to have a chance to experience this type of content early on. So this will be. You could kind of look at it as a place where you get familiar with these fish species, very similar to Mosquito Lake, right?
Yeah.
Where you get your first experience, you run to your first fights, maybe that you cannot win, stuff like that, fine tune your equipment. It's gonna be about that, but also about there's a specific list of fish that almost every member of our team wants in the game, right? And wants to experience like fighting them in our gameplay framework with these physics and the realistic fish behavior. And some of the fish that have always been very high on that list will be in this update, so we are looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, very exciting, guys, for us as well when testing and designing the map. Yeah, because we want to experience something different. If we are focused here, based in Europe on some fish species, we wanted to experience them, in game. New fish will be introduced in old maps as well. For example, bullheads are spread all over Europe water. At the moment, our idea is to introduce these new fish species on the new map. And as Joe mentioned before, this will be like a start. So some of these fish species we might see in the future, maybe with the bigger sizes as well somewhere else. But at the start we're gonna see them on the new water body.
Nice. I see Lockheed has a question here. Which dev accidentally put koi in mosquito?
I think it's less of an accident and more of a of an early teaser, maybe I would say.
Good point. Good point.
Very similar question we have with the Golden Tench before. So
Yeah.
surprises.
Yep. Another one here is mosquito getting reworked. I guess you already
No,
knew
not
that it's
at the
already a
moment.
reworked map.
Yeah.
So
It's- Yeah, we are happy with the state of that water body. There are other water bodies that need a rework more desperately, in our opinion, and one in particular will probably happen relatively soon.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Steelhead asked here as well. Sura is in dire need of a remake, and I think kind of maybe Tuba could need a facelift as well. Not necessarily so much on the functionality side, but maybe more on the graphics side.
Possibly, yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
Although that's a rather big map with a lot on it,
Yeah,
and we are
yeah.
happy that it's running at all, on lower systems. So,
Yep.
but yeah, we will have a closer look, and surely some of them are beginning to show their age after
Yep.
7 years, which is
I think Tuba,
Can't
after especially after the competition that you guys have been running on Tuba, I think the map works extremely well. So I think if something should be done on that, it should have been more like cosmetics and maybe like travel wise, not so much on the fish. And,
Well,
because
that's a
it's-
big internal discussion. You wouldn't believe how many times we discussed a small bridge over this or this one canal,
Yeah.
and just so you can get to the big island. But
It's,
everyone has their opinions.
Of course, but the map works really well, and we spent a lot of time on there, especially during the competition. So I think a lot of folks are really happy with that one. So,
Yeah, but few maps we can do, will do with small facelift and small changes, and that's in the works for the future as well. So again, not only new maps that are planned, but also some old maps might be upgraded, changed, facelift.
Allow me a quick disclaimer, Cypher. These questions about administrative stuff, account questions, why didn't I get transferred, why was I blocked, and stuff like that. Please respect that we cannot discuss this on the stream because we don't want to do that in public. Contact us on our email addresses, and we will help you clear up any issues there.
Perfect. Yep. There's actually two other questions on maps that came in, and it's two people asking pretty much on the same thing. In regards to the Norway map was a huge success. That's I still think that's the biggest and best update that you guys ever did.
Agree. Yes.
But still, you guys are doing a lot of good things after that as well. But it's still there's something special with that release. And the question has been, will we see any more ocean maps? Will we see more sea fishing? Is there anything in the works on that side?
I mean, it's safe to say that we also all fell in love with that map a bit on the development team. And I would be extremely surprised if we were done with that topic. Extremely surprised.
It's still like the map is, even now after, what is it, like almost 2 years, the map is just buzzing off. And of course, it helps when you guys keep releasing new stuff. It's been gear releases, it's been more fishes. It keeps dragging us back to the map, and I think for most of us, there's a lot of challenges left to be had on that map. So,
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, ocean fishing, of course, the possibilities are endless, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes this feels like being a child in a sweet store, right? And it's like, okay, I want this and this and this. And the dev team is like, yeah, but how are we supposed to do all that, guys?
Yeah, overall, guys, there is a lot more plans for almost everything. So there is a lot of possibilities and a lot of new nice stuff you will see in the future.
Talking about those kind of things, I've noticed that the game is more and more stable. How are you guys doing on the back end? Like,
Oh, don't jinx it, Cypher.
no. But all in all, like even after you guys turned on the chat, which of course we've seen some issues still on the chat side of things. Not everyone is seeing patches and those kind of things, but I was kind of surprised. Yeah, we had some problems during the last update, and we had a bit more downtime than announced. But all in all, the server's been running great after.
Yeah.
So, how
Well,
is it
that's
going
mostly-
with the back end stuff? There is
Yeah, it's going really well, and that's mostly contributed to our administrative head of administrative of server structure and everything, Alex, who I think is a genius. That man. And yeah, we needed to take some time to get these systems under control. Chat first and foremost, but the way he did that now, and the stability that we were luckily able to test because there were so many players at the end of May, and put a real stress test on it, and yeah, it worked wonderfully. So big shout out to our head dev Alex.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised how little issues we had after that last update. Yeah, we were down and there was a couple of patches, but all in all, that was pretty impressive with all the new stuff and the amount of people that came in. But yeah, like I said, it was a good test. So,
Yeah, we're very happy with it as well. So yeah.
I've heard some rumors about people saying that chats with over 150 people are having problems still with the chats. Do you guys know if there is any limits here? Is there anything that's like if we go above X amount of people in chat, we're having more issues than others, or?
I've heard 300, but it might be a smaller number. I'm not 100% sure, but we are aware that they can become buggy once a certain number has passed.
Okay,
has
yeah.
been passed. We're gonna keep an eye on that, and we're gonna maybe even thinking of reworking this group chat system completely. But that's something that's a bit further in the future. But we are definitely looking at this. Yes.
Yeah, because we're seeing in the Vikings chat, we actually do not see, we don't see each other's catches. It's just random if we see one other person every now and then.
Yeah,
So
okay.
of course we see our own, but not each other's. So. But yeah, we can actually do some testing on that. I think we can slim down the chat a little bit and see if we can figure that one out.
Yeah.
There's also some utility stuff that came in. It was asked about the coffee and tea making. Basically, is there ever going to be something in the game as far as like bulk crafting? Because we see it with making coffee and tea, leveling some of these crafts, making bigger portions of ground baits and stuff. Will there ever be some sort of a function to do bulk crafting?
Well, let me give you a small peek behind the scenes. There is probably like in any company, when it comes to decisions like this, there's two there's two tribes almost, right? There's the more like real life fishing guys who say no, this is unrealistic, and you know this needs to be immersive. And then there's the more gamey people who say, yeah, well, but nobody enjoys crafting 150 coffee, right? So it's something that we are actually discussing. I cannot sadly give you a different.
I can relate.
On that. I personally,
I don't enjoy crafting a million coffees.
The gamey part where I think we have enough deeply immersive systems in the game that we could get away with having some of them be a little less that, but of course that this needs to be a group decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I do agree personally.
I'm in the middle, guys. I'm split because realistic feeling needs to be in the game, and of course I know you guys want the bulk crafting and bulk sending and everything, but it's also like in life, you know. Sometimes I, for example, hate shopping, but I need to go very so often, you know. So yeah, like with everything, you know, if we hopefully able to find balance, that might be the best answer.
So end of the day, the best thing for the community is probably to try to think of a way to make those two things meet and submit it in as
Yes.
a yep.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Use the suggestion box in the forum. So,
I saw a question about the competitions in the game competitions. Yes, in the future, we hope that we're gonna see some changes to the competition system. Not only to the competition system, but maybe other tasks around it as well. Of course, there will be positive changes, but that's for the future as well. It's not finished. Same as Joe mentioned with the chat, this is not final product, guys. Hopefully in the future we will change it for better.
nice. Will that also include like maybe merging the tournaments from the like the foreign tournaments and the in-game engine? Will that be brought together some or?
I mean, potentially that's definitely a goal. It's tricky because again it puts pressure on data banks, right? And this external system is less so, but it causes other problems. So I think long term we are striving for this in-game solution, but of course without compromising the stability of the game, right? So this is one of the points where when it becomes possible, we will probably integrate it. By the way, I'm aware that some of these questions answers are not like super satisfying, but one of the issues we have is we don't want to give exclusive information to just one part of the community, right? And be sure that there's, for example, maybe some Chinese players watching here or Russian players watching here that do speak English, and they will, of course, talk to their communities as well. And we don't want it to feel like unfair, right? Like we are providing info here that other regions might not have gotten yet. So we're going to be a bit careful with that. And then instead talk about it once it's out and get your feedback on it.
Another one that I'm pretty sure you might have heard it once or twice before, Auction House.
Yes.
Just use AI to translate it into all languages.
Yeah, it's a definite no. We looked at many other games. We looked at positive cases, negative cases, and what we found is the most positive outcome for something like this is that it creates a secondary economy in a game. And sometimes it even takes over. You know, some players start to play that game only for that secondary economy. That's something we don't want. And the worst possible of cases is that it's completely abused and destroys in-game balancing. So we do not see, at least with our colleagues, that anyone has found a solution to this that works. So for us, this is a hard no.
What about like an in-game, not a shared economy, but like a second-hand store or somewhere you can basically dump your old equipment that you want to get rid of, sell it back to the game basically for a like trash price, if that makes sense.
Potentially, but it would have to be like you said, a trash price. And at that trash price, you're probably better off keeping that equipment because most of it you can still use, right? I mean, there's, for example, if you're going for Tench on Oldberg, there's absolutely no reason you bring your Vengars, right? It's just going to create extra cost because you don't need the power and they're more expensive to repair. So in these cases, just keep using the old equipment. It's still excellent for that, you know?
Yeah, for my part, I'm still using my old Sorrentos with the Lacerti, so yeah.
Right.
But this also goes into a secondary topic, which we come into with the rod blanks.
Man, am I gonna have to fix my Lacertes?
To do something with things that are either broken or too damaged to use, or is that just scrap at that point?
Well, with the rods, again, the camp that is more about realism in our team says you cannot repair a rod once it's broken. You know, it's made from parts that cannot be mended. I think we will probably stick to this, that rods cannot be repaired.
Good.
But on the other hand, we might
If you break your rod, you're a moron.
options. for that. So that's a possibility, absolutely.
Let's see here.
Rod should break permanently.
What are we missing here?
I mean, it just makes sense.
There's a few questions that came in as far as like information in the game. For instance, will it ever be put more information in the game as far as mechanism strength, hook strength, those kind of things? Will we see more of those details in the game? Because right now we have a lot of sources online. We have Kill to Jock spreadsheet. We have some Russian pages, and there's quite a few pages that have a lot of that info. But everything is something is probably mined from the file. Some things is probably.
I mean,
I've
I've-
all about it, but
I've broken a couple reels.
To be honest with you, Cypher, at this point, from my perspective, I don't want to.
It's called Life Lessons.
I think it has become part of the fun
Yep.
to get these information elsewhere, right? And to figure this out yourself, compared to just us spilling it out. I think it's also an area where people can, get skill advantage. You know, if you're willing to dive deep into these communities, get access to all of that info and stuff, you will have an advantage and you will have earned it. And I kind of like that. So I don't want to destroy that completely. What I can imagine is more information and more feedback from the game about your history, right? Like a fish diary, for example, that
What you caught,
also
how
gives
much,
you
yeah.
information. Okay, what was the weather like when I caught this? What bait did I use? This type of feedback. I think that's something that
Yeah, that's something I wanted. Some kind of like notes you can take
question that came in, if
that's
it
built
was
in,
possible to get on the trophy screen,
or fish markers
the information that we now see on the new trophy
that you can like put a mark down and like put notes on it.
that we maybe have
It's only on your map. Maybe you can share them. I don't know.
get more details on the specific fish when we screenshot them, because it would also
I
help when
think so,
people
yes.
are sharing information, because we rely heavily on things like Discords, we have VK, we have other trophy pages popping up, and having a lot of that on the screenshots would actually make it a lot easier to share information. It might make it a little bit lower threshold for people to share intel.
I agree, and we saw with the cards now how cool this is, right?
Yep.
To have that info, and 100% agree. Would be a tremendously helpful feature.
There's another question that I just saw roll past there on the maps. Things like taking notes or making like some sort of note system in the game, being able to mark things on the map, have waypoints, those kind of things. Is that something that you're looking at, or?
Yeah, I would put that in the same category, right? Better documentation would be my header for that category. Where the game just would ideally give you more feedback and a memory system. Okay, how did I actually catch this fish? Is this reproducible? Stuff like that, right? All the same category in my mind.
Yeah, I see. From my part, like I love all the statistics in game, being able to see like how much you walked. I'm like, I don't care. Like how many fish you caught on different maps, the different like the sizes, the biggest, the smallest, all that good stuff. But yeah. Let's see. There was also one on that I got here on baitfish. We checked that as well. More and more fish are being caught on baitfish. We're starting to see that people are using baitfish for pretty much everything, especially in challenges. So there was actually two things here. One, will there ever be something done to prolong the life of the baitfish? Because sometimes farming it and then using it, it's not always that easy. So maybe with like third-party stuff, either with like oxygen pumps for the tanks or having fish tanks we can put the fish in before we craft it, something like that. Is that something that might show up?
I can actually not talk about this.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, moving along. The other question on that
But it's a
is,
very good idea, Cypher. It's indeed a very good idea.
So thanks to Greg for that one. The other question on the same thing is that we're starting to see, especially on Yama, we're getting a lot of small fish on baitfish. So quite often we start seeing that you might have a 50-gram bait fish on a 4-0 hook, and you end up getting a 40-gram rough on it.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Is
That shouldn't happen.
intentional, or is it something that might be reworked?
Well, it is intentional to the degree that you have to have underwhelming catches every now and then.
Yep.
Otherwise, it becomes unbelievable,
Yep.
right? And we all know what a 30-centimeter perch is capable of stealing in real life. So that this happens to a degree is planned. We don't want it to happen to the degree where it becomes overly frustrating.
Yep.
That doesn't only affect, for example, gold bait, but also the question, hey, if a player is fishing at 200-meter depth, right? Like, how many small fish should he really catch there and have to pump up from that depth, you know, before this turns into a frustrating experience? These are, of course, things that we are discussing, but they're not easily changed, because this is one of the areas where a slight movement of the wheel might have massive impact on the overall game balancing, right? So yeah, we are analyzing that, and we're seeing if there's more room for optimization. And we did actually with the
I just don't want to see a 5-centimeter fish taking out a 15-centimeter bait.
one particular patch notes that that addresses that. We do have, let's say, some more systems for fish to act. You know, their behavior can be more detailed now.
That's
so
one
it
line
might
that
be,
no one knew what really meant.
yes, and that is absolutely by design, because we want you to find out. But it might be worth trying stuff you haven't done in a while. It might be worth, you know, casting a bit further or something like that. Try it out.
Try it out and see and share with everyone.
Yep.
That's the great way to success. You know, sharing between each other. Hey, I found out this. Oh, maybe this is something new. But as Joe mentioned, it's really worth trying things you didn't do long time, or maybe never tried before, and you might see some good results.
Nice. I picked up on one thing you said, and actually that makes a
Just
little
send
bit
Mr.
of
Cranky Pants in there. He'll figure out how to do stupid shit that works.
What he can do and what he can steal. Of course, the balance here will be: is it better to have a fish got away and your bait is gone, or getting that perch? So
Yeah.
kind of because that's in real life. I know from using long lines, we come back and we have like 50% of the hooks are eaten clean. So of course, losing the live bait and not having a fish afterwards, or actually getting that small fish and knowing what took the bait.
I'd rather have the second. What about you?
I would too. Yeah, at least knowing knowing that there was a fish that took it. So yeah.
Well, yeah, as I said, this will look. We need to look at big amounts of data for this, right? Only with enough data we can make educated decisions about the balancing. Otherwise, we're making mistakes. And one mistake, for example, that we have done in the past is that we sometimes started too optimistic, or let's say too easy, right, on a water body. And then we notice when the data comes in, oh, this is not really how we intended it to be balanced. And then you have to nerf the water body, and that's
fair.
we want to desperately avoid in the future.
That's good. That's really good.
Right, including us. So in the future, we would rather start a bit slow, and then look at the data and move rates up instead of the opposite.
Yeah, I think that's a
That's a game killing thing.
I think Norway
When you introduce something that's just OP as fuck and it devalues everything.
after the fact can become very negative. I think everyone calmed down on Norway. It wasn't as bad as it seemed in the beginning, but like we always know when something is reduced, no matter what it is, it's going to be taken negative. So yeah,
absolutely.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to start the competition here in 30 seconds, by the way, so last chance for people to join in.
Yeah, join
What
the
we have
competition.
tried real quick with Norway is, instead of just nerfing one fish,
Good old
and
mudflation.
logically replacing it by extending another population, right? So we noticed, okay, the Hollywoods are it's just
Introducing new gear that
you know, we don't want
are
this
new
property to
something
be
that,
treated
you
in
know,
a specific way.
completely
So we
overshadows
said,
and
well,
devalues the old
let's
stuff.
up the cots, you know, because that is what realistically you would get more on, more of in that area. So, you know, that's our more current approach is to say, okay, let's not nerf it, let's move it, right? At least to a degree.
Yeah, and I think
Yes.
I think the changes that were made were logical. But of course,
I think that's kind of cool too, having legacy
a
gear.
lot of folks were like, "Where's all the halibut?" And
Yeah.
they wanted to fill their net with halibut, but it's also the same peoples that later got upset when they kept getting the halibut.
Rewards for people who've played the longest, you know? That's always good.
But it just shows that any changes are normally seen as bad changes. So
Absolutely.
unless
That-
you
that's fine.
unless you get more of something. So I think your strategy on that and then starting out a little bit slower and increasing populations is actually better. So.
Yeah, you know, and I would rather have like 100 people say I hate this, and then like 6 months later tell me, oh, it wasn't that bad. Then, you know, nobody cared.
Yeah. The changes that we've seen, and I think actually every single update since Norway have just brought the game up enough. With all the additions of fish for different maps, the gear additions we've had, and of course the qualifications. We see what that does with the community whenever they drop, player number goes up as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much. That it's good to hear.
So I have there is two other like small things that came in here. For player-owned houses, will it be possible for players to select which house they want to visit? So if someone owns all 3 houses, you can have all 3 on your profile, and people can choose which one they want to visit. I know a lot of folks are running out of room on their walls. Being able to only showcase one of the houses kind of limits the amount of fish you can put on the wall, and it will increase the number of fish you can have displayed if you can show all 3 houses. That's something that might be added in.
Sorry. Yeah. Potentially. I think we didn't think this completely through in the beginning when we only had one house, right?
Yep.
But yeah, we noticed exactly what you just described, and if it's technically possible, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do that in the near future.
Because I see, me included, I start running out for especially spaces for smaller fish. So, and of course, then it will either be bigger houses or just like jam-pack them more than they are. So displaying all the houses also gives a reason to buy all the houses.
Absolutely. I mean, also, if you guys in chat, if you have good ideas how to implement like bigger houses or in general more possibilities to display fish without making it completely like immersion breaking, feel free to send those, because yeah, we notice. I mean, some people have hundreds of fish that they would like to display, right? And we don't have a solution for that yet, but you know, maybe we will find one with your help.
Nice.
Yeah, it would be great, guys, if you can provide some ideas as well.
Yep.
And especially younger players know that some of the ideas from the players were exactly taken and implemented in the game. So who knows, maybe your idea or maybe group idea that you guys provide will find the place in the game.
Very nice. So yeah,
Guys, one more
usually,
thing, because we got this special stream today, we want to throw some special rewards as well. So first trophy on the chat, in game chat, in the game competition, we're gonna get 10,000 silver.
Wow.
So it's really worth it. Go for this, boys. We need the trophy brim.
Very nice. Very nice. That's one expensive fish.
Indeed. That's, by the way, also something I like about the design of the card system. It offers something for the collector people, right? Who enjoy this, or people who need a few more skill points. But you can also completely ignore it and just, take it as a bit of extra cash. And I think that's good game design, right? When the choice is completely up to you, and either way you're going to benefit. And I think that's something we're going for more and more, and we want to go for more.
And I already saw some question on the forum, so may I just explain quickly, guys? The card system just started, as you all know, in the last update, but it's not finished yet. We will expand on it in the future. So if you worried that you find a card that is not making to the decks, there is no place in the decks for it. Of course, it is your choice if you want to sell it for silver or keep it. But don't worry, in the future there will be more decks, and whole system we want to expand.
Somebody asked in the chat if we could do like what was it, a quarterly Q&A like this. I am absolutely open for that. Whenever you will have us, basically, Cypher, we're willing to jump on. Maybe once the new water body hits, we could do another stream, talk about some of the new stuff there, if you're interested.
That would be
and
very nice.
also, I know that our colleague Toby, a couple of weeks ago, with two of the German streamers, they did a specific stream just about Zigrig, was it, right, Nico?
Yes, Zig.
Exactly. And if that's interesting for you guys, for example, if you say, hey, there's a topic where we got so many questions that it would make sense to have a dedicated stream about that. Toby already said that he's open to that, so that's also a possibility.
Yeah, I think that would be good. And actually, we do have a couple of questions on the Sigrig and the temperature system. So I think that would be very good. And for my part, we love these streams, so you're always welcome to jump in with us, guys. And
yeah, awesome. Same.
So the last one is a
cool.
success as well. So.
Yeah, maybe this is a really good idea, Cypher. That next one may be a bit shorter, about special session about Zigrig and water temperature. We will invite Toby, who will answer all of your questions, guys.
Very nice. That was also one of the questions, like when we walk into the Sigrig discussion. The whole temperature rework that was done for the 3 maps. Is that pretty much final, or are you guys planning to do more on that whole system?
I could imagine that we extend on that, because it's beginning to work more and more. I feel like players are trying to get it, and they try to find ways to make it beneficial for them. I think maybe we wait a bit longer until like most players have a good understanding of how these systems work, and then extend it. Could be a possibility. Because in general it makes sense, right, to have that system.
And also, that's why you guys sometimes wonder why we not provide explanations, examples, a lot of data about the new rigs or new systems in game. This is just a simple answer, because we want you guys to experience it, to find out, to learn, to communicate between each other, to share experiences. And after this, let's say, new system is in place, after some time, of course we will help you guys out and answer all the questions. But first, our idea is for you guys to discover it, because there's no better feeling than discovering yourself, catching the first trophy on Zigzig, thinking, okay, I got it. You know, after months, I finally understand how this is working. So, yeah, that's the basic answer. This is not like mystery, or we don't want you guys to succeed. No, it's the other way around. But also we want you to do it yourself as the community.
With the whole
Vanta is reminded of the school days by this logic. Well, to be fair though, Vanta, our goal is for you to have fun. School's goal, hopefully, is a different one.
Yeah. As far as the temperatures, will we see anything like seasons come into the game? And maybe that the temperatures follow the seasons a bit more?
I would absolutely love to see that. I've never made a secret out of that. It would be a fantastic system. It is also a very complicated system, adding seasons.
Yep.
Just some private info. I'm like sometimes hobby-wise, I'm into modding games, right? And one of the most complicated mods I have ever installed is like called Seasons of Skyrim or something that implements a season system into a 20-year-old game, and it is complicated. You know, every texture needs to be reworked, every single aspect of the game. It is such a deep system that it affects almost all other systems in the game, and whenever that happens, that is that is bug heaven. You know, that's where you create the really bad new bugs. So I hope it would be the coolest thing ever, but I don't know.
Yeah. And someone someone just put it in a winter map, and that's
Yeah,
I would go
Mark
back
used
behind
it.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's separate from the seasons question, because this winter map is coming almost every time during Christmas. Why we don't have a winter map? And listen, guys, maybe in the future there is a possibility for it, but we just don't want you guys to have a normal lake with the winter scenery without having something new there as well. So that will come with the new mechanics and everything. So this will probably require, well, not probably, but will require a lot of attention. So at the moment we're not saying no, but that's maybe for the future. There is other stuff that need to take priority. But yeah, regarding this winter map, as I said, there are a lot of questions, a lot of enquiries, and of course we're seeing that, and that needs further discussions in our team as well. So thank you for the question.
Yeah, that seeing winter fishing, ice fishing, or something like that come into the game would have been amazing. But yeah,
Or just imagine like even having to change your equipment depending on, you know, on the time of year a bit. You need to bring warm clothes and stuff, and all of that. So it would feel like different, although you're visiting a familiar place. So it could be incredibly cool, definitely.
Yeah. That's something I've seen roll past in chat quite a few times here as well. Will there be more customization for gear, clothing, equipment in general, like change textures on rods and those kind of things? Is that something that you guys have been thinking about?
Almost definitely, yes.
Yep.
We have started it a bit very carefully because we don't want this sort of where we don't like this aggressive monetization concepts in other games, right? Where it becomes more about this stuff than the actual equipment.
Yep.
So we're going to try to do it carefully and just see what the feedback is on stuff like this, and then see how we can expand more and more.
Yeah, perfect. We've seen some of the games out there gone overboard with with the cosmetic things. So yeah, it can go both ways.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and look, it's a bit of a trap for developers because these systems tend to bring in decent money, and whenever you have a system like that in your game, I know this is talking behind the scenes, but this might be interesting for you guys as well. Then you are even more tempted to expand on this system, right?
Yeah.
And well, you better be careful with this, because if you don't, you know, be careful, all of a sudden these systems take over your game.
Well, yes.
That's not something we want.
Yeah. Yes, of course, it's the balance with everything that you introduce. So Another one that I
Guys,
saw
do
here-
you know what? We don't have a trophy yet. Come on.
That's surprising, being a dream comp and first night is almost over.
Yes,
We
I'm
had a
surprised.
4.348.
Yes, so close.
Ooh. That's,
Oof, I
that's-
hope we
that-
will be able to give this prize.
Still have, see, we still have 30 in-game hours on this one, so there's still time.
Well, if everyone fails, you can be still best in failure, and I would say then we just give it to the person who caught the biggest one.
Basically the winner.
Well, so be
yeah.
it.
First pro here might actually be the winner as well, so that will be on top of the other prizes. So
That's right.
Yeah, a lot.
another question that came in here on, and this is kind of following a little bit of what you guys introduced on Norway. Like on Norway, we have the submarine that we can call if we have premium. Will we ever see something in the game that will allow us to browse the tackle store or all the stores while we're out fishing?
That's what I was asking last night.
I think we would want to find an equal. I don't want to say realistic solution, but at least a fun one, right? At least some.
Even if it's not from my perspective, even if it's not
An in-game iPad.
purchase something, being allowed to at least browse it, having a PDA where I can at
Yeah.
least look at the things,
Yeah.
because what we've seen, and I actually did this for Norway, I made a program on my PC with a lot of screenshots. I actually brought up the tackle store on stream, just because there was always so many questions about gear, what people should buy, comparing the different things. And it makes it a little bit difficult, especially for us on stream, to sit there and talk about it, because we have to keep running back to the tackle store to find details on it.
I agree.
So even if it's not purchased, of course a drone would be possible, but even if it's just a catalog, that's something that would be really nice to have.
I mean, even an
In-game iPad.
additional app to the game could be interesting. I know that for most games, these additional apps that you put on your phone are bullshit, right? They're gimmicky or something. But
Yeah.
in this game, it could actually make sense, you know,
could.
because there is some information that you would want in that way. So I don't know. Possibilities are there, definitely.
Oh, we got TLG Timmy with the first trophy.
Nice.
Nice.
Grant.
Nice. Congrats. Okay, I got the screenshot on that, so
Perfect.
I'll send you the name afterwards.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna start preparing to drive my kid home and
Teleportation back
log out, and I'll be back later,
our,
or I'll just stay online. I don't know,
game director hates
but I'm gonna stop the stream either way.
put him out here. So if you don't like that, it's all Yuri's fault. And please, if you want to protest that, use the name Yuri specifically. No, I'm just kidding. But he doesn't like that idea.
I'll be back in probably about 4 hours ish or so.
In one sense,
See you guys in a bit.
teleporting back to store will, of course, it will